Hey, I'm dropping a quick message for all of the Jedi minds out there. In our last session, in the resilience session last week, we learned how through some of our breath work we can activate neuroplasticity in our brains. We can activate a more malleable brain state so that our brain is able to form neural pathways, new neural pathways, more easily. And around that neuroplasticity state in your brain, I want you to remember two things. The first one is to keep in mind as you practice your breath work, the resilience breath work, to keep in mind that you're creating this malleable brain state. And remember that however you choose to respond in that state is creating patterns, is creating quite fixed patterns for your nervous system to respond to in future. To be mindful of that and remember to bring yourself into a space of enjoyment and fun while you're creating those new neural pathways and creating those new patterns. Because you want to create a new pattern for your nervous system to respond to that serves you in future, so that when you get put under pressure, you find a space of calm and clarity rather than going into full-on survival mode when you get put under pressure. So the first thing I want you to remember is, while you're doing your resilience breath work, that neuroplasticity is happening in your brain in that moment, and be mindful about how you respond. Create beautiful new patterns, patterns of clarity and patterns of calm. Then the second thing I want you to remember is, while you're doing your resilience breath work, your EL5, it's easy to remember that right now the level of agitation I'm experiencing is creating or triggering this neuroplasticity. But outside of that, we're often in situations where that same kind of underlying agitation, frustration, aggression is being triggered in us without us being a willing participant. It was kind of forced on us by our environment. So the second thing I'd like you to keep in mind and remember is to build an awareness around when that feeling arises in you outside of your breath work. When it's kind of just dumped on you, when your environment triggers that in you, to also have an awareness around, I feel this level of agitation, and I'm recognizing that how I choose to respond to this will create quite a deeper pattern in my subconscious. And I want to choose, when I feel this level of agitation, I want to choose to de-escalate my nervous system, find a space of clarity and calm, so that how I respond becomes the pattern I want, the pattern I choose to run in my subconscious. So those are the two takeaways from our last lesson that I want to remind you of. And then our next session is on the de-escalate side. And I'm looking forward to see you guys in that next de-escalate session to put the next little building block on your daily de-escalation practice. See you guys right there in the next Jedi Mind session. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.